What's up and welcome back, Wargamers. This is Battleshock Wargaming Studio. In today's video, Michael, this is a really exciting one. We're playing some Age of Sigmar with the new points updates and all that good stuff. I don't know if it applies here, but it's happened. Yes, it's that time of year, October, late October. So Michael, tell us what we're doing today.
We have a very special game. It's a double debut. Double debut.
Double debut, hell yeah.
We're bringing out the Idoneth Deepkin.
Yes.
Which are now officially ours.
Yep. Big shout out to Gavin for making an awesome trade with me. I am so excited to run these guys.
And we're debuting for the first time ever the member-voted army. This is the Lumineth Realm-lords. They voted on the army and they voted on the color scheme. And I have been frantically working to get them painted and ready for you guys today. I've been staying up late, reading the rules and painting and being a madman to get these on the table, and I'm ready.
This paint scheme that you've chosen is phenomenal. It's really nice, shiny white armor with emerald accents, and it's just about 2 notches higher than your normal painting. You took a lot of extra time to do this, and I'm glad you did. It's so fun to finally see it on the table, so that's great. Big shout out to all of our members. You made this happen, so hopefully when you root for who's going to win today, you pick those Lumineth Realm-lords. It won't hurt my feelings one bit. Baron of Dice has given us these awesome new objective markers. They work both in AOS and 40K. They're in a bunch of different colors. Go check them out at baronofdice.com. There will be a link down below. You can also check out all the beautiful dice that he has that we run on our channel. And there's a promo code down below, Battleshock, to get yourself a couple bucks off. So Michael, I'm really excited to take a look at the armies.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go take a look. All right, new to the channel, some Idoneth Deepkin. They're going to be Nautilar subfaction, so my turtle is battle line, and he gets a nasty little mount trait that gives him extra rend. I am going to have different abilities throughout the course of the game in each battle round, and I have 2 rituals instead of 1. So this is my terrain. I can garrison it, it's impassable, and models that are within 6 inches that don't have a mount will also benefit from a 5-up ward. This is my general, Akhelian King. The mount gets extra attacks for the mount trait, the rider gets extra attacks for the command trait, and once per battle I can pick D3 units to go into High Tide to fight first. Here's an Isharann Soul Render. He brings back Namarti in the Battleshock phase. He has a once per battle slay ability, which is really nice, and he's relatively fighty, just a cheap little hero to help buff the thralls. Here's Lotan. Lotan makes everything wholly within 12 of him, +1 to wound with melee weapons only, and once per battle I can take an extra Isharann ritual and put it on a unit wholly within 12 of him. Then I have an Isharann Tidecaster. She lets me take an extra ritual, that's why I have 2. She's a 1 caster and her War Scroll spell is called Riptide. You take D3 mortal wounds and then you're also -1 to hit. Then I have an Akhelian Thrallmaster. He helps buff the Namarti Thralls with his fighting stance. You can either reroll 1s, have exploding 6s, or be -1 to wound in the combat phase. Here's 2 units of Namarti Thralls. They are going to be expert conquerors. If they're fighting 1 wounded models, they get extra attacks. If they're fighting models with 3 or more wounds, then they get +1 to damage. So they're relatively fighty for how cheap they are. Then I've got the turtle. He's a bounty hunter today. He is going to put out a 15-inch aura with his void drum, so I'm +1 to save, and then the Namarti, if they're under the void drum, are also +1 to hit. I've got 3 sharks today. The one down low on his base is in a warlord battalion. The other two are going to be bounty hunters. They move 14, they shoot 24, they get extra attacks if they charge you and you've taken damage in that turn, and they're really, really nice for objective nabbing. Here's some fresh new dice from baronofdice.com. Just unwrapped these bad boys today. That shark is going to be a 6, and I think they're very thematic to the list that I'm bringing today. So there it is, Nautilar subfaction. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Michael brought.
Behold, the Lumineth Realm-lords have finally arrived, finally off the painting table and fresh to the battletop. Let's get into it. My subfaction today is going to be Zaitrec, which is going to give all my wizards +1 to cast, dispel, and unbinding. Super excited to get these guys on. Let's take a look at the general today. General is going to be the Lord Regent. He's going to have the Arcane Tome, so he's going to be double casting. He's going to be the Consummate Warrior, so he gets to reroll 1 attack wound, or save once per turn. Next up, we have the Nautilar. Nautilar's here because she makes my Blade Lord's battle line. And then she has Deep Thinker's ability, so once a battle, she gets to auto-cast on a 9. Here is Teclis. Teclis is the Archmage himself. He knows all of the lore. He's going to be auto-casting up to 4 spells every turn. He's going to be shooting out mortals, giving out ward saves, and just, kind of being the entire army. We have a unit of Blade Lords. These guys are awesome. They can take some damage for the Nautilar. They do mortals on 6s, and they get more attacks against like big hordes and things like that. Here we have a unit of Wardens. These guys are going to be Expert Conquerors, so they're going to be counting as 3 on objectives, and they're Shiny Company, so as long as they're touching 2 other models in that unit, they're going to be -1 to hit. Here we have the dreaded Wardens. They're also going to be Expert Conquerors, so they're counting as 3 on objectives. They are a wizard, so they're going to get to do a little bit of casting, and they're going to be shooting those bows at a ridiculously long range with that lofted shot. Here we have the Ballista. The Ballista is a little bit better against monsters. It can do flat 3 damage against monsters. That might come into play this game, and it gets plus 6-inch range if it's standing next to the archers. We have 1 unit of Dawn Riders. These guys are going to be bounty hunters with the Blade Lords. They're fast, they have a lot of attacks, and make really excellent bounty hunters. For our first endless spell, we have the Rune of Petrification. It's an 18-inch aura of, on a 4-up, do some mortals, and -1 to charge those. We have the Horror Gas. The Horror Gas has a 12-inch bubble of you can't auto-pass morale, which is super helpful if I'm going to yeet it next to something that I'm going to shoot at, and hopefully everything runs away. And then we have the Purple Sun. I think it's still pretty good, even with the changes and the point increase. Let's see if we can give a point of rend to all of my shooting. Finally, we have the terrain feature. We have the Shrine Luminor. It's going to be garrisoned by one of my heroes, and it's going to be allowing some rerolls to casting every single turn. Really helpful. These are the beautiful Lumineth Realm-lord dice that I'm rolling today. The yellow ones I'm going to use for my Aether Quartz reserves. We'll talk about that as it comes up in the game. That is the list. I'm excited. Let's look at the mission.
All right, everybody. Before we take a look at the battle plan today, big shout out to everybody on this wall. Thanks for supporting our channel and going that extra mile to help us keep making great quality content. We appreciate you very much. Today we're going to be playing Silksteel Nests. This is an 8-objective battle, split long edges, and there's 8 objectives. So if you control an objective in enemy territory starting from the 2nd battle round and you're within an inch of it, you can burn it. However, if you burn it, you have to make a bravery check for every unit within 9. And if the roll is higher than the bravery, then that unit takes D3 mortal wounds. Really, really fun battle plan. I'm excited. Today I'm going to be taking Take What's Theirs, and I'm going to try to get more models in enemy territory than Michael has. And Michael, what's your grand strategy, buddy?
No place for the weak, and I have to kill battle line, and your turtle's battle line, which means the turtle's got to go.
Yeah, you got to make the turtle go away. All right, let's take a look at who has initiative.
Here are our wargamers. We're about ready to get into it. We have a couple of pre-battle round things to discuss. We did pick a proving ground right here.
Yep.
I had less drops than David, so I have initiative. I'm choosing to have him go first.
Yep.
So before we get into battle tactics and heroics, this is the point in the mission where you guys comment down below and let us know who you're rooting for. Root for whoever you want. It's a double army debut. We're both really excited to get these new armies out.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
We're all winners today, David. So let's play some Warhammer. It's Warhammer Day. Let's get into it. What is your battle tactic, my friend?
My battle tactic is going to be against the odds.
Yep.
And I'm going to have this Namarti unit on this objective at the end of the game. And it's not going to be contested by any other Galatian vets.
Perfect.
So let's talk about the tide. We're low tide right now, and I also have an Isharann ritual, which is active right now. So my entire unit, or my entire army is counted as being in cover.
Okay.
And you cannot shoot a unit unless you're within 12 inches of it.
Right.
And that's using the ritual of the creeping mist. So my whole army is +1 to save because of cover, and they can't be targeted for shooting unless you're within 12. Also, everything in my army is under the void drum of the turtle right now because of its extra 3 inches to range. So everything right now is +2 to save.
Yep.
and that's going to be active until the end of the battle round. So yeah, that is Low Tide, battle round 1, and that's all we got to talk about there. So we've done my battle tactic. Let's go ahead and try to get a command point. I'm going to try to get the command point on my king. He does not.
He does not. Let's try to get a command point with my general, the Lord Regent. He does.
Lord Regent gets it. Okay, so you have 3 command points plus 1, and I have 2 command points flat.
Yep.
Which is actually only 1 command point, and you'll see why.
And I'm going to throw another command point right up here, because she gets to issue that once a turn.
Yes, and I did take a Warlord battalion, so at some point during the game I'll be able to add 1 command point when I generate them. Not going to do that right now, because I don't need any command points for this battle round, because it's going to be really hard for Michael to dish out any damage without being able to shoot or do magic.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to go ahead and cast. I have 2 casts. The first one I'm going to cast is Mystic Shield.
Okay.
Okay? It goes off with an 8.
So from him? Or
Nope, from her.
From her. Yeah, I definitely don't have that.
Okay, so the Mystic Shield is going to go off.
Splendid.
All right, I'm going to cast an Arcane Bolt just to have one, just in case for any reason before the end of this battle round I end up being within 12 of an enemy unit, and I get a 9. So
Perfect.
She's going to get an Arcane Bolt. All right, Michael, that is the end of my hero phase.
I have nothing.
All right, so we will be right back to show you what I did with movement.
David, you're all done moving. Show us what you got going on over here.
So I used 1 shark so I could get all 4 of my objectives pre-game, and now he is moving closer to everybody else. Mm-hmm. The Namarti moved off of this objective, so Michael can't get out muscle in his turn. They're staying within 6 of the terrain, so I can get my ward. Back here, I've got my general, my caster, my 3 heroes butted up against the terrain, and 2 sharks. This unit is able to shoot the Blade Lords or the Wardens. This unit is able to shoot the Blade Lords, Ballista, or Dawn Riders, and this unit is able to shoot the Blade Lords or the Dawn Riders. So we've got line of sight on a couple of things. I'm probably just going to do some shooting and be cagey right now because Michael won't get to benefit from shooting until the 2nd battle round. I also kept in mind to stay away from endless spell range and spell casting range. So that's all I've done. We're just going to get into some shooting, and there's not going to be any charges, so it should be pretty quick. Let's go ahead and start with this shark over here.
All right, shark shooting into the wardens off into the distance.
Yes, they're shining company, so I'm -1 to hit. I've got 4 attacks. This is normally 3s and 3s, so it's going to be 4s and 3s. And I can't do any commands because I don't have a command leader. So let's see what happens. 4s and 3s. Okay, 2 hit. 2 wounds, -1.
-1, so we're looking at 5s here. Failed them both.
3 damage.
3 damage.
This shark behind the shipwreck is going to shoot into those wardens right there.
Okay.
He's got 4 attacks again, no buffs. All my buffs are for melee weapons.
Okay.
So 4s. Okay, 2 again. It's almost like that's math or something. 3s, nothing. So he's done shooting. Let's take a look at the next shark. All right, so true line of sight, the top of this shark, the tippy top of the guy's hat, can see the tippy top of Michael's spear, so we're good for line of sight, and we're gonna shoot in the Dawn Riders. -1 to hit again, so this is going to be 4s and 3s.
We're gonna all out defense these guys.
Okay.
Go ahead.
1 hit. 1 wound, -1.
4 up. Failed it. D3.
2 damage.
Got a guy.
We unhorsed a horse, of course.
Of course.
Okay, and then all we have left is the Leviathan. He's going to shoot into the Ballista.
So into the Ballista from the Leviathan.
Yep, the Leviathan is going to shoot into the Ballista. Let's do an all-out attack on this one.
And let's pop that Aether Quartz reserve because he's going to die without it.
Okay, so we're on 2s and 3s. The 3s. Okay, make 4 saves -1, Michael.
Okay. 5s. I saved 2 of them.
Okay. 4 damage.
He's alive with 1 wound, David.
He's still got a ward
Ooh, you're right.
because he didn't move.
Let's think about that. 6s.
2 damage.
Taking 2 damage.
Nice.
Best
Nice
Aether
job.
Quartz ever.
Yep. Aether Quartz is gone, and now he's -1 to his bravery, which doesn't matter because he's a 1 model.
Right.
All right, that's the end of my turn. So let's go ahead and get onto the hero cam, and we'll let you know how many points I scored.
David, that was a fast turn. We got some shooting done. How'd you score?
Scored 5 points, killed 3 wardens, 1 horse, and damaged the catapult. I'm feeling like I should have shot into the horses. I could have got another one off the board since that's one of his major movers. But it was still a good turn. Relatively safe for the rest of this battle round. No shooting is going to be able to happen. So this is your opportunity to do a lot of casts because I only have 2 unbinds.
Right.
And let's get right into it. What are you going to do for your battle tactic?
So the battle tactic that I'm going to do is from the book. It's going to be Hysh Made Manifest. You complete this tactic if there are 2 or more endless spells from your army on the battlefield at the end of this turn.
Sure, and you've got 3 endless spells and lots of casters. That seems very doable. And then what are you going to do for your heroic action?
Heroics, let's try and get another command point with the Lord Regent. He does not.
I'm going to make the Akhelian King. No, I'm going to make the Soul Render a wizard so I can try to get 1 more unbind. Okay. So I'll have 3 unbinds total, and I only have a few units in range, but it'll be helpful, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to get a command point because I'm anticipating that you're going to cast Total Eclipse. And if I get a command point, I'm going to have 1.5 command points, and I'm not going to be able to use it. So that's why I'm going to make him a wizard. So let's get into your casting. Where do you want to start, buddy?
Let's just start with Teclis.
Okay.
Right? Not even going to roll for these, David.
Yeah.
But let's start doing things.
So you're going to cast 4.
I'm going to cast 4.
We talked about it off camera.
And these are going to automatically go off with a casting value of 10 that I cannot modify. So let's start with automatically casting the Purple Sun.
Okay. Automatic cast on the Purple Sun on a 10.
Yes.
So I would have to roll an 11 on dice to unbind it.
Yes.
I am going to try to do that with the Soul Render. This is his time to shine. I need to see a shark and a 5, or double sharks. Okay, let's see what happens. Nope, that's an 8. So the Purple Sun's going to come out.
Okay.
Wholly within 8 of Teclis.
Yep. Okay, so that's cast 1. Purple Sun is out.
Okay.
Now let's do Total Eclipse.
Not even going to try to unbind it. So I only have 1 command point now because I have to use 2 command points every time I use one. Effectively, I have 2 command points, but it only counts as 1. So that one goes off.
So that's what Total Eclipse does. It makes 2 command points into 1. That's really good. Let's do Overwhelming Heat.
Okay.
This is a damage spell.
Yep.
If successfully cast, pick 1 enemy unit wholly within range and visible to the caster. Have the move characteristics of that unit until your next hero phase. Then roll a dice. If the roll is equal to or greater than the unit's save characteristic, the unit suffers D3 mortals.
Okay.
So I never want to put it on the thralls. They have a save characteristic of 5.
Right.
So let's put it on the 2 up.
Okay, sounds good.
That's much
so
better.
Okay, so it goes off, have my move characteristic, and I take D3.
You take D3.
Okay.
So so that was higher than your save. Take 2 more.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. That's your 3rd spell. What is your last spell going to be from Teclis?
The last spell, what we want the Protection of Teclis, which is the army that's an 18-inch aura of a 5-up ward.
Yes. So for this, everything that is wholly within 18 right now gets a ward.
Yep.
And then it lasts until your next hero phase.
And I'll mark those with Battleshock dice.
Yes. Protection of Teclis has been marked. So all of those units have a 5-up ward, except for the Cenari Cathalar. So now we're going to get into more casting. Where are you going to go?
Let's go with the Lord Regent.
Okay.
Let's start with the Greater Power of Hysh.
Okay.
He's at a +2 to cast right now. He's +1 from Teclis, +1 for casting from Purest Aether Quartz on this spell. So that's a 6, 7, 8.
Goes off. So D3 units.
D3 units.
For 2.
So 2 units are going to do Sun Metal Weapons on 2 ups. I need more buttons, David.
On 5 ups.
5 ups.
That would be insane if it was 2 ups. Yeah, I've got all kinds of buttons. Here's what we do.
I'm going to need to make some specific buttons for these guys.
Okay. Michael has put Greater Power of Hysh on the Wardens and on the Blade Lords. What are you going to do for your 2nd cast from the Lord Regent?
Out comes the Horrorghast.
Okay.
Let's try to see if we can cast it. Hey up!
Okay, on a 10, goes off. Not even going to try to unbind it.
Only an 8. So we want the Rune of Petrification to come out. We're +2 to cast. Let's use our Deep Thinkers to auto-cast this on a 9.
Okay. Michael has used Deep Thinkers and placed the Rune of Petrification right there. Let's continue with casting.
All right, so we're going to cast Speed. We're going to do it from this Warden here.
Okay.
Onto the Blade Lords.
Okay,
Sound good? 7, 8, 9.
Okay, goes off.
Let's do Mystic Shield.
Okay. Who's going to cast Mystic Shield?
Let's throw Mystic Shield from these gentlemen here onto themselves.
Okay.
Sound good?
Mystic Shield on the archers. Goes off.
7, 8, 9.
Okay. Is that all you're casting, Michael?
I don't know, David. I hope so.
All right, well, that was fun. I wish I was playing Tzeentch right now because I'd already be able to summon. Let's get into your movement, I think. Starting with the hero phase move from the endless spells.
Yep.
Okay. Michael, you've completed your movement phase. Tell me what you did starting with the Cathalar.
Well, first, I backhanded her off the table and caught her while she went flying, but she's okay.
And the Luminor, it was fun.
Slight damage on top.
Yeah.
She stayed in garrison. All of the wardens moved up. Just to get some more bodies on the point. The sentinels moved up. We just need to start getting in range a little bit better. The general hung out back. The warden or the ballista hung out back. Selenar and Teclis moved and capped the center of that point. I really, really wanted to send the Blade Lords in, but I needed them to hang out with Teclis.
Sure.
So,
because you don't know what's going to happen on the roll-off.
Right. I'm not going to send it all on the roll-off. I am about to throw away a unit of Dawn Riders, though.
Yes. So we've got some Dawn Riders here. They don't have power, but they do have their 5-up ward.
Yep.
And they're about 7 inches away, 6 or 7 inches. I chose not to redeploy because I have 1 command point, effectively, because of Total Eclipse. So I'm going to try to auto-pass morale if I survive.
And then over here, your... Greater Power of Hysh did proc and did some mortals right here.
Oh, you mean the Rune of Petrification?
The Rune of Petrification. Yep.
Sure. So I took 2 mortal wounds, and it's just chilling there. That means that I'm -1 to run and charge with these guys. They ever charge?
No, it's an aura around here is a -1 to run and charges.
Gotcha.
Which is really weird.
Excellent. So I'll give you a little rundown of the table here. I have this objective because I was standing on it with the shark pre-game. Shark's right here. We've got thralls, the king, all the little squishy wizards and buffers, and 2 sharks, and the Leviathan, and then we've got the Dawn Riders facing down the thralls. So let's get set up for a charge. Dawn Riders staring at some thralls, they're gonna charge.
9.
Okay, they charge 9, we'll move them in. Michael has finished his charge. He had to make sure that he was Shining Company, still had 2-inch range with all of his attacks coming from the Dawn Riders, and also outside of 6, so he doesn't get debuffed by the purple sun. Also outside of 3 of the Leviathan. So it took a little bit of time to look into that stuff, and now that we've got it all figured out, we're gonna go ahead and unleash hell with the Leviathan. That's gonna be all of my command points because I have to use 2 to do this.
Okay.
But if I spike and take care of some horses, that'll be good, Michael. So I'm gonna give it a shot.
I'm going to use their Aether Quartz for +1 to save right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Once per phase.
Yes, it's really nice because it's the only time that you can defend against an Unleash Hell. I'm -1 to hit because of your Shining Company.
Yes.
So this is going to be 4s and 3s.
Okay.
Okay, we got 6 hits. Now we're looking for 3s. We've got 4 wounds at -1 rend.
4s. I failed 3.
Okay.
This could be really bad.
That is
3, 4, 5, 6 damage.
6 damage.
Man, that turtle just...
The turtle was good. That was a really risky Unleash Hell because it was my last command point, but you made the decision easy because I can't auto-pass morale.
It's not like you can do something else.
Right, okay, so let's go ahead and have him attack. Before he attacks, I'm gonna pick Akhelian Fighting Stance to make you -1 to wound.
Okay. So let's do the Guardian Sword. We are going to use the Deathly Furrows ability, obviously, to increase the attacks characteristic from the Lance. But we're gonna start with the sword. Swords hit on, oh, we might as well all out attack here, by the way. This guy's gonna certainly die in a second. So we're gonna hit on 2s.
Okay.
These are now gonna wound on 5s.
Okay.
Because I'm -1 to wound.
Okay.
Snake eyes.
That was boxcars, but same thing.
Reverse that.
That's better than snake eyes.
It's rend 1, and
Okay.
you're still within 6 of the purple sun.
Okay, and I'm +2 to my save.
Yes.
Because of cover.
Right.
And because of the void drum. So it washes out, and I have a 5-up save.
Go ahead.
Okay. I failed them.
It's 2 damage apiece.
Okay, and then I have a 5-up ward. And I save
Ooh.
3, so 1 dies.
Okay. Now we have 4 attacks from the sudden metal lance. They all hit.
Okay, and then you're
5s again.
5s.
Wait. I'm sorry. It's going to be 4s.
Okay.
Because I'm +1 to wound.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so 3 wounds. These are rend 1.
Okay, so 5s again.
Yep.
Save 1.
Okay. And those are 2 apiece.
Because of bounty hunters. Correct. 5s. Okay, I fail all 4 of those.
And then we will finish off with the dashing hooves. 1 hit from the dashing hooves. No wounds.
Okay. Beautiful. I am going to fight back.
Sure.
I fight in 2 ranks. So I'm just going to move 1 guy forward just a touch. I'm +1 to hit because of the Leviathan, and I'm +1 to wound because of Lotan.
Sure.
So this is going to be 2 attacks apiece, +1 for the leader, so 11 attacks. 2s and 2s.
Seems good.
Okay, pretty good. Okay, so make 10 saves at -1. And Aether Quartz only lasts through the phase.
Yeah, he's dead. Super dead.
Okay, we got him. Brave 7.
Okay.
I lost 5. So I lose 4 more.
And an additional D3.
And an additional D3. Ah, you got the unit. Okay. So they're dead. Nice job, Michael.
Okay. And then battle shock on these gentlemen over here.
They're Brave 7.
And lost 2.
I'm fine. And I'm going to bring back D3 at the end of the battle shock phase from the Soul Render for 2 more. So they're full health again.
All right. So we picked up 1 screen, but I think that was not a good trade.
Yeah, points to points, it was a pretty good trade.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're in a good position for if you win the roll-off. I think it was a fair turn. The fact that I was able to keep the thralls alive was nice. So let's go ahead and get on the hero cam and we'll see how many points Michael scored.
Cool.
All right, we are back from Michael's turn. I held off some Dawn Riders.
Yep.
I lost a unit of thralls while I was doing it, even with their ward and everything, which was a bummer. The Horghast is good.
The Horghast saved my bacon.
Yeah.
Let's see, we held 1, held 2. We don't hold more, but we did complete the battle tactic, which is Hysh made manifest.
Yep.
Endless spells on the table.
Endless spells all over the dang place.
Yep.
So that's really, really good. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the roll-off. This is an interesting one. I think we're both in good shape regardless, but obviously it feels good to win.
Hoop. 5 is a nice roll.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Are you going to take your double turn?
I think I'm going to take the double turn. Wait, I would like to know what tides and things happen before I do it. So let's have a little think, and then we'll let you know.
See you in a minute. We are back for battle round 2. Michael decided to take the turn. Right now, during my tide, I am able to run and either shoot or charge. So that's pretty fun. Michael, what are you going to do for your battle tactic?
Battle tactic this turn is going to be another one from the book. It's going to be blind the enemy. I complete this battle tactic if 4 more spells are successfully cast with different Lumineth Realm-lords in this turn.
Seems easy.
Seems easy.
Yep.
So that seems fun. And then heroic actions. Let's see. Command driller points. I have 1, 2. The Cathalar has 1. Heroic actions. Let's get one with the general again.
Okay.
Nope, none for him.
All right, when I generate command points, I have 3, and then I'm going to use my Warlord Battalion one, so I have 4 total. Just in anticipation of total eclipse, so I'll be able to do a couple commands, which is nice. And then I think I want to try to get rid of the Horghast right now. Can you tell me what the cast value on the Horghast is?
It's pretty low. It's a 5.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get rid of that with my Tidecaster. That goes away super duper hard.
Aggressively gone.
Yep.
Let's do some casting with Teclis.
Let me do my heroic action first.
Yeah, you do your heroic
I'm going to try to unbind 1 extra spell.
That makes sense.
And I'm gonna do that with the Soul Render because I wanna be as close to your units as possible. So this guy right here.
Let's do some casting. So starting with Teclis,
Okay.
we're gonna do Total Eclipse.
Okay.
So we're doing 4 casts, all at value 9, value 10.
Not gonna try to unbind it.
Total Eclipse. We're going to do Protection of Teclis,
Okay.
which is the 18-inch aura of 18-inch of a 5-up ward.
Okay. That is, I have 3 unbinds, and that is one that I don't like. So I'm gonna try to roll an 11 or a 12.
Okay.
See what happens. Nope, goes off.
Now we're going to do Storm of Searing White Light.
Okay.
And this is exploding mortals in an 18-inch bubble around him for enemies.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna try to unbind that. Nope. Go ahead.
So let's start with the Thralls.
Okay.
So that's D6 mortals,
Okay. Roll it out.
4 mortals.
Okay, 5s. Okay, I take 3. Okay, let's do the Soul Render.
Soul Render. That's D3 mortals for 3 mortals.
Okay, 5s. Shrug 2, he takes 1.
Nice, good shrug.
The Shark.
Shark. D3 mortals for 2 mortals.
Okay, he takes Lotan.
Lotan. Nothing happens.
Okay, the Akhelian Thrallmaster.
Takes 1 mortal.
Okay, he has no ward. And the other Shark.
Other shark. Takes D3 mortals for 3 mortals.
I know, the Shark doesn't have a ward. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
The turtle.
Okay, the Turtle.
Nothing happens.
Thank goodness.
So let's see, we did Searing White Light, we did the thing. Let's do something fun, because that wasn't fun. Let's do Transporting Vortex.
Okay.
So I'm gonna yeet my ballista to the other side of the table.
Okay,
Cool.
sounds good. What's the cast value is 10?
Yeah, goes off in a 10.
I have 1 more unbind. I'm gonna try to unbind that. Nope, almost with the 10.
I teleported him over here. We're gonna try and cap it. Then at the end of the turn, I'm gonna try and burn it. I don't expect to kill that shark in one go, but I need to start snagging some points from David. Let's continue on with the casting streak. Let's go with my general. He'd like to do Greater Power of Hysh.
Okay, I have no more unbinds, so go ahead.
So 5, 6, 7, 8, so that goes off.
He's plus 3.
So he's +2 naturally, and then +1 when he's trying to cast that spell. So +3 to cast for him.
Beautiful.
So it goes on D3 for 2. So let's put it on the Blade Lords and the archers. And then he would also like to cast, it's called Ethereal Guardian, Ethereal something? Ethereal Blessing.
Yep.
He'll throw that on the Blade Lords.
Okay. Goes off.
Goes off. So they have,
I'll give him a button.
they have an unrendable save. Let's see, the Wardens are gonna do Speed of Hysh on themselves.
Okay.
It goes off.
On themselves,
On themselves.
or on the Blade Lords?
On themselves.
Okay, gotcha. So they've got speed.
Yep. And
They're
then
fast.
defastens. Archers in the back are gonna do Mystic Shield on themselves.
Okay. Goes off.
Sure.
Uh-huh. Cathlar's got 2 spells.
Cathalar has 2 spells, and she is not in range for any of them.
Okay.
18-inch range, we are still out.
Excelente. No more casting. Any other hero phase stuff to do?
We're just gonna move the Purple Sun.
Okay.
And let's do the roll on camera, because we might actually accidentally zap a shark, or do some mortals to a turtle.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's start with the
Turtle?
The turtle! Oh, Michael, D6 plus 6. I don't know why I rolled the dice.
I don't know.
roll
I'm
the
not
damage.
sure how I was
You need to roll the damage. I was shocked.
12.
Yeah, that's way worse than what I rolled. Okay, so he has suffered 14 now.
And then the shark. Nothing happens to the shark.
Okay, what's next?
Now we move into movement.
All right, see you in a minute. All right, we're back from movement. Still reeling from taking 12 damage on the turtle, but that's okay. The life goes on. Let's go ahead and take a look at Teclis. What did he do?
He pretty much shimmied slightly over. He's pretty happy with where he is. I just wanted those thralls further away from me so that I could target sharks or turtles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're closest to the turtle
Yep.
with where you landed. So you're going to be shooting the turtle with him.
Yep.
And then on your center objective, what do you got going on?
Let's see. David, are you so proud? I am screening with my general.
That's how I do it, baby.
That's right.
All day, every day.
Yep, the
Love
general
it.
screening. And then we did speed over here to go cap and steal that objective, which is great. I need that one. And then back here, this guy teleported. So he's doing a fantastic job. Living his best life, just yeeting into the enemy battlefield.
Yes, and he'll be able to burn that objective at the end, which is kind of fun. The coolest thing ever would be if he failed his bravery, took D3, and then exploded
Killed himself
at the end of the turn. That's what I'm hoping for. So his closest target is the shark, the lone shark, and then the Sentinel's closest target is the thrall standing around the boat. So let's get set up for some shooting. All right, Teclis is going to shoot into the turtle with his 6-up save. Let's see what happens.
Hits on a 2.
Hits.
Wounds on a 2.
Dead. Nice job. Sentinels have 19 attacks.
Yep.
Mortals on 5s.
Mortals on 5s.
Going into the thralls.
Let's pop this all-out attack.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going to hit on 3s.
Let's see what you get.
So let's pull mortals.
Okay, got 2 more 5s in there. Pretty good little pop.
And then wounds on 4s. So 5 saves, no rend.
How many mortals?
6 mortals.
Okay, so this is 5s. So I take 3. This is ward saves on 5s. I save 4, so I'm going to take 5 damage. Ballista shoe sting into the shark.
Okay, so let's do 3 attacks, 2s and 3s. 2s. Okay, they all hit. And 3s. Only 1 wound. It's rend 2.
I failed it.
It's 3 damage.
D3 damage.
He's a monster.
No, he's not.
It's D3 damage.
Okay.
Take 2 damage, sir.
Can do. No charges for you, right?
No, I'm a gazillion miles away.
Okay, let's get lined up on this objective over here. Okay, the lone ballista is going to burn the objective, right?
Yep.
Okay, roll 2d6.
Yep. That's
It
over
beats
his
the bravery. Okay, d3 mortal wounds for 3.
He's dead.
And he dies.
You did great, Ballista.
Okay.
Are you spending 2 to auto-pass your morale?
Yeah, I have 4, and I get d3 of those back, so yeah. So I'm going to burn 2 command points so I can auto-pass morale with my thralls, and then I'm going to get d3 back for 1.
Okay.
That's the end of the turn. Let's figure out how many points Michael just scored. We're back from Michael's turn. Michael, how many points you scored, buddy?
6. I held 1, held 2, held more. I completed my battle tactic, which was blind the enemy, cast 4 with 4 different wizards, and then I burnt this objective, killing my own ballista in the process.
Killing your own ballista, yeah, that was
worth it.
That was great.
Worth it.
That was great. So now your sentinels only have 24-inch range with their lofted weapons. That's okay though, because they're going to be within 24 now.
For the rest of the game, yeah.
Yeah, for the rest of the game. So that was really good. Let's go ahead and get into my battle tactic for my turn. I'm going to pick Desecrate their lands, and I'm going to pick this terrain feature right here. I can literally just turn the Namartis, keep my ward, and that'll be just fine.
Seems great.
I'm going to get 1 command point at the start of my turn, bringing me up to 3. And then for my heroic action, I'm going to try to get another one.
Okay.
And put it on the king.
Ooh, the king's going in.
He gets it.
Okay.
Okay. What are you going to do for yours?
So let's automatically dispel this with Teclis.
Okay, sounds good. I am going to try to cast... I'm going to try to cast Riptide, and I'm going to try to cast that on this unit of Blade Lords. It goes off with a 9.
Okay, let's try to dispel with Teclis.
Okay.
Let's see, we're +2 to dispel. All right, you got it?
Okay.
4-up spell, ignore.
You take 1 mortal if you don't ignore it.
Ignore.
Okay, you do. Okay, now I'm going to try to cast Mystic Shield. It goes off with a 9.
Let's try again with Teclis.
I'm done.
9.
Okay, cool. Fun casting phase. All right, that's the end of the hero phase. Michael gets to move the purple sun. Let's move it and see what happens.
Okay.
Michael has moved the purple sun within an inch of 2 sharks and my Tidecaster. Let's go with shark 1. Okay, it's dead. And shark 2. It's dead.
Oh my god, guys.
And then the Tidecaster.
Oh no.
It's dead.
Holy no.
Triple 1s.
Oh.
All right. Well,
even
that was
I
awesome.
feel bad.
Really good, Michael. You've done about 30 mortal wounds with that thing. Let's get into my very fast movement phase, and we'll be right back.
You, bad man, have upset my friend.
He's a bad man.
We are going to shelf you.
He's a bad
after
man.
This. Let's look at this table. Let's see what's happening. David, how'd you move?
I moved 19 inches because I can run and charge with him, and he has no shooting attacks. I moved 15 inches with him, and I'm not quite sure if I want to shoot or charge yet. I need to figure it out. And then I have 3 heroes left. They all ran away from the purple sun, and then I've got 3 Namarti chilling right there.
I did throw a redeploy and rolled yet another 1. So we're a 4-inch charge from the king. You have a little bit of shooting.
I think I'm going to forego the shooting and just charge with that shark instead because he can run and charge.
Sounds
I
good.
just need to measure the distance. If it's 7 inches or less, I'm going to charge instead. Okay, let's charge with the shark.
Okay.
On a 7. That's a 7.
Perfect.
Right on the nose. So we're going to charge into the Blade Lords.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom. Okay. Now I'm going to charge with Volturnos, the king. He's upset because he just watched the purple sun eat 1,000 points of an army.
Yeah.
Michael, that's the best proc I've ever seen. I rolled 3 1s in tournament when we were at the Portland Game Store, but I did not kill that many points.
No.
Right after taking 12 mortal wounds to the turtle, that was rough.
Yeah, I've done 4 1s with that thing in this game.
Yeah, yeah. But now that it's over, I'm okay again. I get to be mad for like 3 minutes.
I feel like if you lose half your army from 1 activation, you're like,
half your army from a 100-point endless spell.
I'm going to go get some
Awesome.
pizza,
Really
drink a
good.
beer.
Yeah, so let's charge with Volturnos. He gets a 4, which is great because he needed a 4. So he's just going to smush in right here.
Okay.
Now he's going to finish his charge. At the end of the charge phase, he's going to activate D3 units to go into high tide mode for 2. So both the shark and him are in high tide mode. And then because of Unstoppable Advance, he's going to get to add 2 to the attacks of both of his melee weapons.
Nice.
And he's +1 to rend and damage for charging.
Excellent.
And then the mount is +1 to attacks because of the Deep Mare mount trait. So he's a little bomb going in.
Yeah. What's he hit on?
It's a good question. Let's see.
I need to know if I need to roar him or if I should just stomp him.
Well, he's +1 to hit because of his own aura, so he's on 2s.
Okay.
I know that much. He's too far away from Lotan to get a +1 to wound, but his to wound I think is 3s, maybe 2s. Let's figure it out. The king. Everybody loves the king. Yeah, bladed polearm wounds on 2s. So he's going to hit on 2s, wound on 2s with that, and then with the great sword, which is 5 attacks, he's going to hit on 2s because of his own ability, and then wound on 3s.
Sure. Actually, roaring him means he can't all-out attack. Tell the shark to all-out attack. So let's roar him.
But I do have another hero here that's within range.
Oh, well then, stomp it is. Okay. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Stomping it is.
On a 2. Okay.
Yep. 1 mortal.
Okay, I take a mortal. He's suffered 3. He's not going to survive this unless he just goes off.
I mean, he can go off. You are going to force me to do some stuff.
Yeah, he
What's
can go
next?
off pretty hard. I am going to fight with the Akhelian King first. Let me read his war scroll, get all my dice together so I can talk about it, exactly what's going on here. All right, I am going to fight with my Akhelian King first. The Akhelian King has lots of attacks because he got 4 extra attacks for each of his melee weapons and then extra attacks for the mount. So let's go with the bladed polearm. This is going to be 7 attacks 2s and 2s, -3/3.
So we're going to use the Aether Quartz for +1 save, and then we're going to all-out defense.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, everything hits. And you've got 4 wounds at -3.
5s. Save 1.
Okay, so that's 9 damage, and then you've got 5s again.
Take 3, 6, 9 wounds.
Okay, he takes 9 wounds, and then I've got the Falchion. This is 7 attacks, 2s and 3s. No Ren, single damage. Everything wounds. So you're on 3s.
How many?
7.
3s. Killed 1.
Okay, 1 more damage.
5. Okay, so we've taken 10.
Okay, and now we've got the Fangs and Talons. This is 4 attacks, 3s and 3s. You're going to be on a 3-up save again on 1.
Failed it.
That is D3 damage for 3.
Failed 3.
Okay.
Still alive, folks. He's at 13.
Okay, and then we've got Lashing Tails. This is 7 attacks, 3s, 3. Or I'm sorry, 4 attacks, 3s.
Not the Lashing Tails.
4 attacks, 3s, 3s.
I'm going to go down to Tickles.
Okay. Make 3 saves. No Ren, so you're on a 3-up.
Okay, save those.
Cool, you saved him. Now it's high tide.
Yep.
So I'm going to fight again. And the shark is within range to pile into Teclis. So I'm going to do that.
He's going to pivot.
Okay, let's see if the shark can seal the deal.
He's only going to do 3 damage.
Yes, you are +2 to your save with a 5-up ward though, so you're in pretty good shape.
The king hits like a tank. just a complete truck.
That was into a 2-up save.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a 5-up ward. Okay, so we've got the barbed hooks and blades. This is going to be 6 attacks, and this is going to be 2s to hit because I'm an Akhelian rider, and I'm next to the king, and 3s to wound. So 6 attacks, 2s to hit, 3s to wound. Okay, and then
3s.
make 5 saves. You've got a 3-up.
3s. Failed 3, David.
Okay.
I need a 5 here or he's dead.
You do.
He's dead.
Okay, we killed Teclis. I was going to put all my attacks into him because I had to make doubly sure that he dies, right? So I'm not going to fight with my ferocious bites, and then you just have your blade lords left.
That's a huge swing back, David.
That is a huge swing back, but I don't think it's enough. Like, the fact that you killed the turtle, 2 sharks, and my Tidecaster in, one fell swoop really, really helped you, but it does feel good to be able to lift Teclis off the board, obviously, right? So now you've got your blade lords. They have to pile into the closest model, so you may have to put some attacks into the shark. So we'll take a look at it, and then we'll activate with them in a second.
The blade lords have seen poor Teclis fall. To avenge their lord, they're going to do perfect strikes.
Yes.
So 5 attacks. Mortals on 2s.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, the king's alive on a wound. Thank you, Michael. That was very nice of you. See, it doesn't hurt my feelings when you roll 1 and 1's in that situation, but the other situation wasn't a big fan.
I'm an equal opportunity one
roller. Okay. All right, I feel better. Even if I lose, at least Teclis got lifted. That felt good. So let's get on to the hero cam and let you know how many points I scored.
David, that was a turn.
Teclis died.
Teclis died.
So that was fun.
A lot of stuff died.
The perfect strike was not quite strong enough.
Not quite.
To kill the king, which is nice because now it's high tide. So the Venari Blade Lords have to decide if they want to stay in with him or not.
Oh, no, they're going to run.
But first, we have to do points.
And we have to see if it's whose turn it is.
So I got 4 points. I hold 1, 2, not more, almost. I've got 4 models to his 5 over there.
Yes.
So that was kind of a bummer, but the king staying alive on 1 wound is great.
Helpful.
Really, really nice. So let's go ahead and get into the roll-off. Michael breaks ties.
Hup.
Okay, Michael breaks ties. So we're going to give him his turn. We'll be back for the top of battle round 3, Lumineth Realm-lords. We're back for the top of battle round 3. Michael won the roll-off, unfortunately. Just kidding, Michael. Good job. What are you going to do for your battle tactic?
We're going to against the odds. Now is the time.
Okay.
We'll use this unit right here to hold the center point still.
Perfect. And what are you going to do for your heroic action?
Heroic. Let's go. Let's try and get another command point with my general.
I now suddenly have as many command points as I need. A little too late, but that's okay.
There we go.
All right. I'm going to make the king a wizard so he can try to unbind one of your spells.
Cool. Because I'm going to try and do a little bit of damage with my spells.
Yep.
Everything's a little bit harder now, right? Because
you're +1 to cast.
Only a lowly +1. The Nautilar is going to try overwhelming heat.
Okay, and what's the range?
It's 24-inch range.
Okay.
So she's going to see if she can pop the general.
And what does it cast on?
Cast on a 7. So
Okay.
I need a 6 on dice. 7.
Okay.
8.
I'm going to go for an 8.
Go for it.
Ah, it goes off.
Okay.
Killed the king.
Not quite. It's half his move characteristic, which is good for me. And then roll a dice. If it's equal to or greater than the save characteristic, it's D3 mortals.
Okay.
There's another 1, David.
Okay. Now, now you start rolling the ones that matter. So, good.
Good.
That's good.
Okay. So just have his move characteristic. We got to remember that. It's important.
Yeah. Even though I don't think he needs to go anywhere.
So let's do her spell now. Oh, this one doesn't do any mortals. This is the one where I say, like, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that.
Sure.
Sure. So this is Darkness of the Soul, David.
Beautiful. I don't have any unbinds.
Okay.
So just have the best day ever with
Here we
your
go.
casting.
Darkness of the Soul. 6 is a 7.
Yep, goes off. Darkness of the Soul, dislike very much.
He's just, oh.
I mean, he's going to die before anything happens.
Yeah,
so,
it's true dat. Okay, let's do the greater power of Hysh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, goes
That
off
goes
on
off.
12.
13. D3 for 1. Let's just put it on the shooty boys.
Okay, sounds good.
And then he would like to bring out the Rune of Petrification. Bringing out the rune. 7 + 1 is 8. That's enough.
Okay.
So his casting's done.
The rune is right here.
The archers are going to do speed
Okay.
and try and get out of dodge.
Okay, speed goes off, so
Speed
they're
goes
fast.
off. Defastens. And then let's do, from the wardens, let's do Mystic Shield onto the general.
Okay, goes off.
Goes off. We're going to move the Endless Spell. It's not going to be within an inch, so we're going to be fine there. We're going to get into movement.
All right, let's get into movement. Before we get off camera, why don't you roll for that thing? Because it procs at the start of the move phase.
Start and end.
Yeah, so see if the king dies.
The king.
The king's fine.
The shark.
The shark's fine.
That guy.
Thrall Master.
Oh
Fine.
my goodness.
Thralls.
Okay.
Goes off.
The one we don't care about. For 2 mortals.
Save 1, fail 1. 1 dice.
Just
That was fun.
Just trying to sling mortals with that little rune.
Okay. Now we'll get into your movement phase. We'll show you guys what he did in just a minute. Teclis is gone, but the Lumineth Realm-lords still have mad play. I'm hiding around my Gloomtide shipwreck like a coward. Over here, I am standing next to some Blade Lords. Michael couldn't move them, and we'll talk about it in a second. But let's start over here. What did you do with your movement phase?
David, look. Screening with the general.
Screening with the general.
Another screen over here. And then all of this moved back out of scary kill range, but still within my shooting range. So hopefully we're going to kill a shark and the king in this go. And
yeah, so let's get set up on the Rune of Petrification and see if it murders some things.
that's what we need.
Rune of Petrification. Let's roll for my general first. He takes, so he's dead.
Yep.
And let's roll for the shark.
Hoop. It hits.
Okay.
For 2 mortals.
Okay. And let's roll for the Thrall Master.
Thrall Master does not.
Okay, the Thralls.
Thralls does not.
Okay, excellent. Well, you did what you wanted to do. Let's get on to shooting with the Sentinels. Okay, Michael has 17 shots with the Sentinels into the Shark. The other Sentinel is closer to the Soul Render, which is on the other side of the board. So why don't you just roll that 1?
So the 1 into the other guy.
Okay, nothing happens.
I forgot to say all attack.
Okay, nothing happens still. You're gonna all out attack. Let's go into the Shark. And you have Power of Hysh on these guys, right?
I do.
Okay.
So we're using the all-out attack from the general.
Okay.
And it's 18 shots.
Okay.
Here we go. So there's 1, 2, 3.
Shark's dead. Nice shot.
Nice.
All right. No charges. So let's get on the hero cam and score Michael up. Michael, we're back from your turn. How many points did you score, buddy?
Did another 5.
5?
Held 1, held more. Held 1, 2 more, and completed my battle tactic, which was against the odds.
Yep, score is 15-9. I am going to try to do barge through enemy lines for my battle tactic. I think that's doable. And my armies fight first, so I might get into combat. We'll see what happens. I have no casting to do. Lotan is going to give the Thralls the Isharann ritual to let them add +1 to their run and charges.
Okay.
Because I would like to make sure that I get my battle tactic and maybe get into combat. That would be good for me. And before we go any farther, I want to try to rally my Thralls.
Go for it.
I've only lost 4, so that'll be the command point that I would have gotten. Let's see how many I get. We get 1 more Thrall.
Nice. Let's see, I'm going to try and get a command point with the Lord Regent. He does not. I'm going to try to dispel this endless spell from the Lord Regent.
Okay, sounds good.
That's not enough.
All right, I think I have a heroic action to do still.
Yes, you do.
Let's do Finest Hour with the Thrall Master.
Get it, Thrall Master.
Yeah. He wants to have a +1 to wound with his pokey stick if he gets close enough to poke things.
Makes sense.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into my movement phase. It's going to be quick, and we'll be right back.
David, you have completed your movement phase. Walk us through what you got going on over here.
I auto ran right here, 12 inches, so he can't charge, but he's just going to be there to help buff things. And then I've got my Akhelian Thrallmaster, and I've got my 6 Namarti Thralls. One of them died to the Rune of Petrification. So let's get into charges.
Yeah.
All right, Thrallmaster gets a 3.
You were -1 to charges. So that fails.
I'm going to re-roll that. Rolls a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to stay there.
Yeah, that's from the Rune of Petrification, guys.
Ah, I hate it.
Yep.
Okay, Namarti Thralls. They roll an 11. So I'm going to actually re-roll 1s to hit.
Okay.
They have 2 attacks each, 3s, -1, 1. Because you're 2 wounded. If you were 1 wounded, I'd get extra attacks. If you were 3 or more wounded, I'd get extra damage.
Okay.
So it's going to be 13 attacks, 3s, -1, 1.
So let's Aether Quartz and all out defense.
Okay, so they're going to be +2 to their save. So that's going to wash the Ren and bring them down to a 3-up. 13 attacks. I'm going to do all-out attack.
Still -1 to hit.
Okay, so this is going to be 3s and 3s.
Damn ones.
Good talk. I got to leave that in, otherwise somebody's going to be like, you didn't use the ability.
You got to use the ones.
3s. All right, Michael, make 7 saves.
7. 3-up saves. I failed 3, so that's 1 dead guy.
Okay.
And 1 guy wounded. Fury of blows, David.
Okay.
Yep. We're not doing perfect strike.
3 attacks each?
Because we're also bounty hunters, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be 3 attacks each.
Okay, so you've got
3,
12 attacks plus 1 for the leader.
9. The leader has a different sword.
Okay.
So we got to do the leader separate. So let's start with the leader. Leader's going to have 4 attacks by himself. He's going to hit on 2s and wound on 3s.
Okay, sounds good. Nice.
1 mortal.
Okay.
And 3s. So 3 wounds at Ren 1.
Failed 1.
And these are 2 damage apiece.
Okay.
And then the ward. Okay, you got that. Good. And then let's do the other ones. The rest of the attacks. 3, 6, 9. 3s and 3s. Okay. 3, 6. Nope, try that again.
Counting extra dice.
5.
5. 5 Ren 1s.
Yep. Ren 0s.
Ren 0s.
Ren 0s.
Okay, I take 3.
Those were 2 damage apiece.
Okay. Now I've got wards. I needed the Akhelian Thrallmaster in to kill 1 more or 2 more guys.
Yep.
I saved not enough. They're dead. All right, good stuff. Bounced off the Blade Lords. Let's get on the hero cam and score me up. Welcome back. This is the wrap-up. We've decided to call it a game. After I bounced off of the Blade Lords and won the roll-off on 4, we did some quick math hammer. I was able to complete my battle tactic of eye for an eye with the Isharann Soul Render. He did Finest Hour, went into your general, and then he has a once per battle ability for any model with 7 wounds or less. He rolls 2d6, and if you beat the wounds characteristic, he's slain.
And the Lord Regent is 6.
And I rolled an 8, so I killed the Lord Regent, which was cool. Unfortunately, it was just a little too late. But I was able to get 4 more points, so that brought my final score up to 17 because I got 4 and 3, 4 and 4 plus my 9. Final score of 17, and then Michael would have max points, and this is keeping in mind that he could have maybe burned an objective or 2 as well, but he would have ended with 25 points because he scored 5 per round, or 4 in the first round, 1 extra 1 for burning, and then 5 for the other 3, and then completed his grand strategy, which was to destroy all my battle line. So congrats.
Yeah,
the member voted army just absolutely smashed today. I had some shining moments, which was really, really nice. So let's get into the wrap up. If you're still with us, thank you so much for following this channel. This was a really exciting game. It was wild, crazy, and we got to unpack this. So Michael, let's talk about your army first. How did you like how the Realm Lords played?
It is challenging. There's a lot of overlapping. There's a lot of spells to remember. There's a lot of auras to remember. There's a lot of tokens out there. So for first time, then trying to do it on camera, it was very, very, very challenging.
They are, and you know, we helped each other and we took our time with it and everything, but they are definitely not a beginner's army. I mean, the fact that you have Aether Quartz, you have to put extra tokens down for all of the wards that are going around, and you have to remember all of the spells that everybody has. It can become a lot very quickly, and like you said, you do have to play in a bubble. Not as much as you used to, but you still have to, it's a very castle-y kind of army. That in Shining Company, that in getting buffs defensively in melee, which is really interesting.
I like, it's surprisingly fast. With power, with the speed of Hysh or with speed of something. It's surprisingly fast. I was able to sneak around and do stuff a little bit more than I thought.
You were able to nab objectives with it. You were able to grab a proving ground with your wardens. That really helped you out, And then the Dawn Riders are pretty darn fast. Unfortunately, they just picked a bad time to go in and they got hit with an Unleash Hell, but I could see how Dawn Riders as bounty hunters could be very good into single wounded models. So let's talk about MVPs, LVPs. I'm not going to have you pick an Endless Spell as an MVP because the Purple Sun literally killed 1,000 points of my army. It was shocking.
It was shocking.
It was shocking, 2 sharks, an Isharann Tidecaster, and did 12 mortal wounds on the turtle, just rendering it absolutely useless. Then Teclis is able to lift him off the board. It would have been a completely different game with that Endless Spell, I guarantee it, because the turtle is nuts. And I would have had lots of buffs and all this stuff going off, but that's the way it is. It happens sometimes, you know what I mean? And I don't discredit Michael for taking strong stuff because it's fun to build a good list, and that's what we were trying to do. So
you know, and he was in there for the point of the Pip of Rend, so that my Sentinels could shoot, kill something, and then the Horror Gas make it run away. And I was like, well, if it happens to eat a hero, fine, but it's a smaller range. Like, it probably won't come up. And then it just kept coming up.
Yeah,
and
that
like,
triple ones was insane.
That was
triple ones was insane. I can't wait to look back at my face. Well, you just kept rolling ones, and I was like, well, that model's dead, and that model's dead.
The Blade Lords really surprised me. They were pretty staunch. They held off a couple fights. Teclis was very strong. Even with him getting punched in the face really, really hard, I mean, he did a ton of stuff.
Yeah, he finished the turtle off. He got the buffs off for your whole army. He did that one spell that does mortal wounds to everything. That's a very, very strong spell. So he is very good, and I think pointed properly at 700.
Yeah.
Just because he is fairly easy to destroy if you get the right units into him. So who's your MVP today, then?
So let's give the MVP to Teclis. He did great. He did get punched in the face, but he was getting me battle tactics. He was doing a lot of work for the army, and I was actually very stressed once he died because I need him to be doing everything.
Yes, I really needed roll off on 3. I think roll off on 3 would have been insanely good. Could have lifted the Blade Lords. You basically would have had Sentinels, but then I could have swarmed objectives. So, you know, that's the way that it goes. So he's definitely MVP. He did great. And then who are you going to give LVP to?
Let's give it to the Dawn Riders.
Yeah.
They did fine, but they immediately got punched in the face by the turtle shooting.
They killed the unit of Namarti still. Even with one guy, because of the horror gas endless spell. So, they still had a place. They made me deal with them.
I just would have liked them to trade a little bit better.
Yes.
And they just kind of didn't equal trade, which isn't as optimal for a highly elite army.
Yeah. Yep. I could definitely see a couple units of those being very beneficial if you move some other things out of this list and shuffle it around. Very, very good. Yeah, very good list. My army held up about as good as you can, depending on how you look at it, as losing a couple different units that didn't get to activate, but I was able to get all my battle tactics, which was good. I was able to scale and scoring just fine all the way up until we got to battle round 3, and I lost some more models to the Purple Sun. I love how they fight. I like how I have a +1 to hit and +1 to wound a lot of the time. And I also like how fighty the Akhelian King is. He's great. So I'm going to give MVP to the Akhelian King because he went in and did 13 damage to Teclis.
Yeah, it was
even
great.
Against his +2 to save, his 5-up ward. Him with Unstoppable Fury is really good. Unfortunately, it's a command trait, so the only way you get those extra attacks on the charge to go with your extra rend and damage and high tide and everything like that is to make him the general. So he's on a suicide mission, but he's strong. And then I'm going to give LVP to the, I'm not going to give it to the Viadon. It wasn't his fault that he took 12 mortal wounds and then died to shooting.
It was not his fault.
I'm going to give it to the Akhelian Thrallmaster, who had one job to charge 4 inches. Because he was -1 to charge.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
He rolled a 3, and then I re-rolled it into Snake Eyes. So, and that was high tide. So I could have potentially killed some more Blade Lords, because he is 5 attacks with -1 rend and 2 damage. So he gets LVP. The turtle's coming back, baby. That was shocking that he went down so quickly because he has a lot of shooting, a lot of buffing for the army, very armored unit. So it was tough to watch him go, but I still played through a couple battle rounds, got as many points as I could, just like I would in a tournament game. So that was lots and lots of fun.
Well, I look forward to seeing the Idoneth Deepkin out again. I know we'll get a better showing with them next time. I have a whole different list for the Lumineth Realm-lords. That's all Stoneguard, Avalanor, more Dawn Riders.
And Avalanor is looking so freaking good. So freaking good. It's going to be a lot of fun, and they are very armored. Very armored. They can ignore up to -2 rend, and they also have their all-out defense and their Aether Quartz. So you can turn off any kind of rend that you want, which is really, really nice. So that'll be fun to go up against. I'm really excited for that. We're going to be filming a battle report with Stormcast Eternals now that their points have come down, so we can run the double dragon list again. We're going to pit them against Cruel Boys and see if the points changes have helped Cruel Boys at all, and that's going to be really, really exciting.
Guys, if you're with us at this point, thank you so much for joining us. Members, thank you for your help. I hope you enjoyed your member-voted army, and I hope you look forward to more content coming your way soon. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.
See you for the next battle report.